gonna lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! That is by Tennessee to one Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back to Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, Win Column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Thursday, January 13th. Vols are coming off of a win. Kind of a weird one. I was like really ready to be depressed coming into this show halfway through that game, but not the case. We are happy. We're ready. Rolling into Saturday against Kentucky. I won't say feeling good yet. I'll save those feelings for later, maybe. But better than after a loss. A win is a win. It's nice to have it. College football's officially over. I know a lot of people are like, it's not, football season isn't over, still NFL, but I'm sorry. I know people are probably, I think a lot of people in this region agree. I would rather watch college football.
100%. I do think after the bowl game, I needed a break. I think I'm over that break now. And I'm ready for it to be back.
Yeah. And I'll say this, if college football is the only thing and there wasn't NFL, I might be a little sad, but I would definitely be sad if there was NFL and no college football. So thank you, Nick Saban, for destroying any kind of love I had for college football. I hate you. And I won't say what I hope about you because that's mean. I am glad that you lost on Monday night. I agree. It's like, how low are Alabama's expectations? You didn't win a national championship. Fire him immediately.
Yeah, and when you look at the teams he lost to this year, the quarterbacks, Zach Calzada and Stetson Bennett, yikes. Tennessee didn't do that.
Not a good look, Nick. Come on, guys, pull the trigger. I am excited to talk about the national championship, more transfer portal news, and then, of course, some basketball talk. If you got questions, drop in the chat. Hope everyone's having a good night. I do want to talk South Carolina. Before I do that, Landon, I think, made me – I hated on Frank Martin because he's similar to Buzz Williams. He's a little aggressive. He's kind of all over the court. He's not quite on the court. He's all around the court.
He's a lot more likable than Buzz Williams.
Yeah, he's not as annoying. But I think I brought some visuals just to get everybody's mind right here. I think Frank Martin went from like that dad that you're like, I bet he's killed some people. Like he's ex-military. Like this dude, I'm not going to mess with him. And now he looks like a guy who definitely killed people because he won't stop talking about it. Like he's like, you want to know what I did in Vietnam? Like he's that guy.
Did something happen to him?
I think he was one of those people that lost hair due to COVID. Like not that much, but lost hair due to it and then just shaved it.
Okay.
I think.
Because I don't want to make fun of him if it is something bad. So this is me thinking he did it on his own. He looks like Ryan Reynolds in X-Men before he was Deadpool. Like when they made the messed up version of Deadpool, that's what he reminds me of.
Yeah, he does have a very rigid head. It's very rigid.
Whoa. Walt MacArthur said Frank Martin is Jeremy Pruitt of basketball. Frank Martin went to a Final Four.
Frank Martin went to a Final Four. Come on.
Jeremy Pruitt couldn't
say what you
sniff the college football playoff.
Say what you will about South Carolina's losses to Princeton and Coastal Carolina this year, but he did go to a Final Four in his career at the school he's at now.
Correct. And they should not have been in the Final Four. I don't know how they got there. They were not a good team.
Right. It's not. I'd rather be lucky than good. What gets you a lot farther.
100%.
I do want to ask this before we kind of actually talk basketball, because haircuts were kind of the thing last year. Because Frank Martin actually did that last year when he cut his hair. Who had the worst like hair change, Frank Martin or Shaka Smart?
Oh man, I haven't even seen Shaka Smart.
You haven't seen his hair?
Mm-mm.
Look, so you like maybe this is a Mandela effect. Is that what it's called? I'm misremembering. I think he used to be completely bald. No?
Is college
He
basketball with COVID just aging people that much?
No. He grew hair during COVID.
Oh, he grew hair.
He looks so different. He looks like a player.
So COVID did well for him.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'll see if I can pull it up just real quick, and then I do want to talk. I do want to talk basketball.
Where's he at?
Marquette.
Okay.
Yeah, here he is with hair. It's got pictures of him without hair too.
Oh wow.
Very strange, isn't it? He looks so different, so much younger.
He almost looks like a Zero in Holes.
I think he looks like I think he does look like a comedian with that hair. I'll say that. Let's talk actual basketball though. I will. I mean, we can have a haircut segment. I'm all about it. I can show you a bad haircut. I can take you to great clips. We can get that done if you want. Just let me know. But I do want to talk about Tuesday night. I mean, Tennessee got it done. Like, I'm never going to be upset with a 20-point, 20-point win. The first half was concerning.
Mm-hmm.
Looked like you were going to have another Ole Miss night where you first to 50, or 56, I think was the final actually. Slow start, slow game overall. I mean, the first half was, by both teams, thankfully. Like, Tennessee was not alone in that. Both teams just played an ugly first half.
Yeah, I think a big turning point in that game was Josiah Jordan James, his 3-pointer at the buzzer to end the half. I think that was kind of took away South Carolina's momentum, because after that it was kind of all Tennessee at that point.
Yeah, and I told you it just had to be him too that hit it. We had been
I've been roasting him forever, and maybe if that's what he needs, I'll keep on doing it. But he did play a lot better the other night. Had a double-double, 11 points, 12 rebounds, a block, a steal, 2 assists. 4 offensive rebounds. He got to the free throw line finally. All of his attempts from the field were not from 3. So, hey, props to Josiah Jordan James, making me eat my words. Hey, I'll gladly do that.
Yeah, but I thought too. I thought he did a little bit of what we said. I'm not saying that he listened to us. I think he listened to, apparently Rick
and Kenny Chandler were watching us. I didn't get a picture of. We didn't get a picture of Josiah Jordan James doing it, but maybe he did.
But it's Rick Barnes said he needed to be the X factor, but that doesn't mean behind 3-point. When he got a couple really valuable buckets down low, made his presence known. I thought he was one of the kind of mini factor. He wasn't the factor for Tennessee, but one of the many for sure. And you talk about that momentum shift. When he's that Josiah Jordan James, he is very, very valuable to this Tennessee team.
Oh, 100%. Very
valuable. I do too.
He should be like, this is the kind of game you need from him. Like, he affects the game in all facets of the game. Rebounds. He had more rebounds than Camwa and Fulkerson put together.
Not total. Wait, yes. Yeah, total. Sorry. I was looking offensive. Defensive. Yeah, total. No, definitely. And still gets assists and has a steal and block on there. Just a guy that we've talked about it. He's a guy that fills the stat sheet, and he's got to be that guy night in, night out. And that's including points. And I know he hasn't been the offensive guy, and I don't think he's ever's not the right word. He's very, very rarely going to be your leading point scorer. Mm-hmm. And you don't need that from him, but you need him to put up, 8 to, 15 points, or 15 is a lot to ask. 8 to 12 though, a game consistently. You need him to be the guy that Santiago Vescovi's being right now.
Yeah, 100%. Just be Mr. Consistent.
You mentioned, I think.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to go away from Vescovi. I don't want to do that because I know you were harping on, or you were talking about how he's been the consistent rock. So
Yeah, I think that's Tennessee's like lack of identity is they just don't have any consistency. And I know shooting is been an issue kind of all year long. Even though what was it, the first game we set a freaking record for most 3-pointers.
Well, the first few
Thompson-Boling.
games, the first few games, you're like, I mean, Tennessee's going to shoot it a lot, but they're going to make it a lot too, and that unfortunately hadn't been the case.
Hey, but I'll take 7 for 21 is not terrible.
No.
So I mean, I'll take that, especially with your defense playing the way that they are. I mean, I don't want to keep harping on bad shooting when you win a 20-point game in the SEC, but I mean, we missed 14 free throws. We have 14 free throws. It's over at halftime.
Right. The free throw shooting has just been. I feel like that's strange for like I don't know what the actual statistics are, but I feel like when you have a good defensive team, I feel like that team's usually going to be good at free throws. Like you talk about doing the kind of necessary things, having the discipline. Like I feel like those things are in the same category. So for them to just be so bad from the free throw line, it's insane, I feel like.
Yeah, and if you're so bad from the free throw line, you don't have any shot in this world to be good from the 3-point line.
No.
And it's weird. Like Kenny Chandler has been fine with free throws up until recently. And then Vescovi is his entire career. He's been, 85, 90% free throw shooter and 2 for 5 the other night. I know he's a lot better when it matters in the fourth quarter somehow. But yeah, just a weird stat. 11 for 25, shooting 44%, and you still win by 20.
Yeah, and that's where you're just like, all right, we'll take it. And another guy too I want to mention that's been super consistent is Sky Ziegler. I mean, I watch mostly Tennessee games, so I get a feel for the teams they play, and then I watch some other SEC games usually throughout the week. Some Saturdays I don't see them all, but I just don't know if there's been as a consistent sixth man. I've looked at I kind of looked at some stats to try to get a feel for the league, and there's been some guys that have had probably better games than Ziegler. But I mean, finding like a consistent six man, and they may impact the game too more than Sky Ziegler. I'd be kind of hard pressed to find that guy. But when you look at what he's done over the course of the SEC games, and then the which he did starting against Alabama, and then even the out of conference games, like for how consistent Vescovi's been, Ziegler's been almost as consistent off the bench too for Tennessee. Been that very strong six man.
Well, he's just effort.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he just full throttle 100% of the time. 4 assists, 4 steals. He did have 2 turnovers, but he just impacts the game. He seems to make everybody around him better. And you know, at 5'9", 5'8", whatever he is, you would think he'd be a liability, but he's actually a strength for this defense. And really pushes that. You know, the ball handlers, they hate him.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I love it.
Oh, yeah. And I think it does go to show, like, he does have to have a team playing good around him. Like, he has better games when Fulkerson and Kumwa and Urosh are playing better. When he's kind of
helps when they catch the ball. When he gets
that too. I just even mean defensively. Like, if you put him on a one-on-one matchup, he's going to lose a lot of those battles just because of – I mean, if teams are smart, they're going to mismatch him when they can. But when the guys around him are playing good and it allows him to be that more than just a defender, it allows him to be that pest and get after the ball. I mean, I think that's what gets him to those 4 steals. Sure, he might create a steal, maybe 2 per game. But if he wants to, get 4 in a game, like, he's getting help from good defense too, which that's why guys play good around him. They know he's there. He's fast. He's effort. I mean,
no one's going to blow by him.
No, I love Sky Ziegler. I love it.
It's so refreshing to have a guy you're like, yeah, we don't really have to worry about him leaving in a year, 2 years. He's probably going to be your 4-year guy for you. So, it's exciting to see him really be a impact player for this team and somebody that it's a true freshman that somebody else has to account for. Like, they have to game plan for Zakai Ziegler.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's a hot take, Walt. Walt said one other hot take. Zakai gives me Bobby Mays vibes. I think I think the pace at which Zakai and Bobby played were very similar. I will say this for Ziegler. I think when Zakai kind of figures out the change of pace offensively, I think he gets even better. He's kind of just like 100% all the time. And pace is valuable. It's hard to just be really good at a high pace, but being able to change that pace and throw other really good players and fast players off is another kind of skill to have. And he not that he's can't do that. He's just full throttle every minute he's in the game, it seems. I was impressed how deep he went against Alabama. I mean, I think he played like 38 minutes in that game.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're ever like, man, he's slowing up. Like, it seemed like off the bench Ziegler still that game.
And I think he takes some pressure off Santi and Kenny Chandler. Like, they don't have to worry about being the primary ball handler. They don't have to worry about creating the entire offense because it seems like the offense runs through them too. Whether Rick Barnes wants it to or not, that's probably a different story. But it seems for now it's Santi and Kenny Chandler creating the offense. But having a guy like Zakai Ziegler can take a little bit off their shoulders, not having to be the primary ball handler every time up the court.
Right. He only played 27 minutes that game. I'm shocked by that. And Alabama, I thought he played way more than that with Kennedy being out.
Yeah.
I just saw more of him.
I mean, Tennessee just needs some more depth. I mean, they got 17 points from their bench.
I think it's front. Tennessee needs more depth. I think it's from the front court.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But even Justin Powell, he played 19 minutes, but he didn't hardly do anything.
Yeah,
he didn't take a single shot.
He may not be a guy that responds to Barnes' criticism great. It seems like he's not played good since that remark.
Yep.
So
I agree.
I hope and maybe that's a little bit of revision. Like, looking back now, I thought he played better, and now that's been pointed out, I've kind of noticed some flaws. I don't know, but I felt like he was playing better up until that point. So
yeah, hopefully he gets kind of passive back with open shots and things like that. I don't know if he's scared to miss them or if he's scared to make a mistake. It just, like you said, it just hasn't seemed to be positive since he got called out.
Which I think if there's one thing to kind of say about where Rick Barnes lets the leash go a little bit, it's offensively. I think Josiah Jordan-James is a great example. He's on the court for his defense. That's probably why he gets a pass so much offensively. If you're going to make a mistake and want to stay on the court, do it on the offensive end is the message. Because defense will keep you on the court for Rick Barnes. So, which is fair. I think. It's frustrating sometimes, but it's fair. I don't really have anything other to say for the South Carolina game other than Stevenson. I mean, they're like the guy they try to get open beyond the arc. He shoots 30% on the year. I would have figured he would have shot way better than that, the way they try to give him the ball. And he went 1 for 6 against Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, just smothering. I mean, we created 23 turnovers, had 11 steals. I mean, we just made them uncomfortable from the get-go. And, as bad as we've been on offense, they were even worse.
Yeah, that's another credit, too, is I think Tennessee finally, it seemed like they were converting off turnovers and they were getting offensive rebounds and making the most of second chance points. I didn't feel like they did that against Ole Miss or Alabama.
We got in transition. And that's something, the past, I guess since SEC play started, we have not really gotten transition. I feel like that's where these guards, smaller guards kind of thrive, is in transition, getting out and running. And we just haven't been able to do that. Whether it's been, we play good defense, but steals don't turn into baskets on the other end, uncontested layups. And I know we're about to talk about Kentucky here in a second, so I won't get into it too much. But, a way to keep Sheboy off the glass is uncontested layups. If it's going through the hoop, he ain't getting a rebound.
That's fair. I like that. That's a great point. Let's roll into Kentucky, though. That's a Saturday matchup. 1 p.m. tip-off. It is at Kentucky. Tennessee's got their work cut out for them. That's for sure. And I say this so I can sound smart. This looks like a completely different Kentucky team than their – what'd they go last year? Terrible record. I can't even remember. Because it is a completely different Kentucky team. I mean, I think there's like 2 players left.
Yeah, kind of like
that
every
team
year.
last year.
I mean, it used to just be freshmen. Now they're kind of hitting that transfer portal, it seems like, and have some veteran guys as well. I know Severe Wheeler is from Georgia. I think he's transferred from. Yeah. So they got some random guys like that, and I mean their bigs are their bread and butter. They have pretty good guards. Tata Washington and Grady are their kind of shooters. I think that both of them shoot 40%, but Oscar Tshiebwe is their guy. 17 points, leads the nation in rebounds with 15.1 rebounds per game. I will say this, if they're able to put a body on him, I think it's going to be a tough task because I think that's where Tennessee's struggling right now. I think this could be a big game for Urosh to really shine and just be a body and prevent him from getting rebounds and things like that. Maybe make him uncomfortable putting a 7-footer on him because he's only 6'9", so it's not like he's just towering over everybody. He's using his body. He's got long arms, and he just finds the ball. I have no clue how he does it, but yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting game for Tennessee to really see if they can keep him off the glass, because in their 2 losses against Notre Dame and LSU, he only averaged 10 rebounds a game. I think Notre Dame he had 7, LSU he had 13. So if we're able to kind of minimize him, keep him under that 15, I think Tennessee has a good shot in this one. I don't think Kentucky is just a great basketball team. I'm not saying Tennessee is either. I think Kentucky is very beatable, but them controlling the boards makes me a little uneasy.
Yeah, and I like what you said earlier too about having to make your shots. I mean, that's what's going to cut down a lot of those rebounds, is just being a good shooting team on Saturday. And I think too, you mentioned a big game for Urosh. I think they're going to need him to come in and be physical like he was against Alabama when he played really physical. Yeah. He's got to be put body on body. I think this is a game for John Fulkerson to find himself. This is where we really need you to be tough and be that just – I don't know how he gets the better of a lot of guys that are bigger than him, because he's not – I mean, he doesn't just – when he puts his body on you, he's not just dominating you. But guys get frustrated with him. He is kind of deceivingly lengthy. So I don't know if that's it. But this is a game for him to come out and be the John Fulkerson that Tennessee needs, because right now, other than part of the second half against South Carolina, I mean, he hasn't been that guy. And maybe some of it's COVID, but they need him to step up. I know Rick Barnes said, step up or step aside, but I don't think you can have John Fulkerson step aside. I don't think there's anyone else that can do what he can do. So you need him to be him. And this is the game he's got to do it. Does he do it in Rupp? I don't know. Does John Fulkerson shine a little bit brighter in Rupp? Let's find out Saturday.
That's Tennessee right there. Isn't that what he said after they beat Kentucky in Rupp?
I don't remember.
He pretty much did it himself.
Yeah. And I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of that effort on Saturday. And
get Tshiebwe in foul trouble. Make him uncomfortable.
I know some people may disagree with this, but John Fulkerson's kind of found himself in Vol legend territory. Maybe not just because of on-court play, being a local guy and loving pals has something to do with it. You go win another game in Rupp because of John Fulkerson, and it'll be hard for anyone to argue that he's not a legend. It's good.
Yeah, 100%. Tshiebwe is
John Fulkerson's game.
You're calling it.
I
called it at Arizona. You're calling it now. I like that.
I mean, I'm not calling it per se.
It needs to happen.
Better. Like you
speak it into existence.
Like we need you to do it. So make it happen.
Yeah, and another kind of obstacle to that is Sheboy is coming off their 2 wins against Vanderbilt and Georgia. He had a 29-point performance against Georgia, and then he had a 30-point performance against Vanderbilt. So let's keep him from doing that. That'd be nice. I know Tennessee has kind of had that mantra where stop everybody and let one guy get his, but I would like it if we make it a little bit more difficult on old Oscar. You there? You out? I think Caleb's frozen. I think Tennessee needs to shoot it better. I think they're going to have to get to the free throw line. I think they're going to have to. Joe, do you want to get in here? Is Caleb still in here? I can't really tell. It looks like he's frozen. They're going to have to get to the free throw line, and when they get to the free throw line, they got to make their free throws. I mean, it's the second easiest shot in basketball. It's that simple. Looks like Caleb did kind of freeze out. We'll get him back in a second. Joe, what are your thoughts on this Kentucky game?
Same thing. Contain Sheba. I'm worried about it. I'm curious to see what the spread is. I don't think it's come out yet, but just seeing the past couple of games and how I feel at halftime, I don't feel confident. But like you said, get people in foul trouble. If Fulkerson can do what he does and like randomly every couple of games pop off and do what he did against Arizona, then yeah. And if you do win, I think it kind of turns everything around. Like I feel like that can kind of be the starting point for turning around with some bigger games coming up like Florida and LSU.
Yeah, I'd like to see Kenny Chandler have another big game. I mean, he's kind of – I know he got COVID and he struggled in some games. I just think the physicality maybe is especially in SEC play kind of bothered him a little bit. And maybe not bothered him is the right word, but teams have made it more difficult on him to – they've kind of used their body, used their length. He's only 6 foot, so – he gets blocked at the rim quite a bit. Maybe stop, do some mid-range, or maybe use that body and go in and get to the free throw line. But when you get to the free throw line, you got to make them. Got to capitalize because I don't think Tennessee's good enough offensively to make up for missed free throws. I know they did against South Carolina, but South Carolina was a different beast than Kentucky.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole different level. But I'm kind of on the same place that like – I definitely want to see more mid-range because they attack and they try to get in and then they freeze and pass it back out, and that's when we get bad three-pointers or not good looks. And this whole thing's bugging out. But yeah, that's how we end up with those bad numbers.
It looks like we're having some technical difficulties. Is Kentucky, are they tapping in? They trying to rushing us? That's kind of all I got for Kentucky. I'm excited about it. I think we needed that game against South Carolina to get us some confidence back. I think we're kind of teetering on, taking a nosedive if we would have lost that South Carolina game after we played like crap against LSU and didn't play well against Ole Miss. Probably should have won at Alabama. I know you're missing 2 of your best players, but still probably should have won that game. You led the majority of it. I think Tennessee needed that game, and I think this is a game where I think that put us maybe heading in the right direction, that South Carolina win. I think this gets you on track to where you want to be in the SEC. You want to be that top 3 or 4 teams and really kind of give yourself a chance to win it. If you have plans on doing that, I think you need to take care of business in Rupp Arena on Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of like the like we know Tennessee likes to beat up on the bad teams, but it was kind of doing that for still an SEC team. Like even though they're on the lower end of the SEC in terms of skill, it still was nice, and so it's a good refresh. So hopefully they can put something together on Saturday, but I don't know. They'll have to prove me wrong, but I don't feel too confident on it.
Yep. For sure. Who do you think has been your MVP so far this season for this basketball team? Or no, let's not say that. Let's say guy going forward needs to make a bigger impact.
Okay, bigger impact. See, MVP, at least like surprisingly, I was gonna say Zakai Ziegler just because you hit you hit it earlier that like I wasn't expecting the kind of game that he's been able to play.
Yeah.
But in terms of needs to straighten it out going forward, probably Josiah.
Okay.
I mean, unless you want to talk about Chandler, but I mean, I think he's got the right idea. I mean, if you're talking like really long term, then yeah, Josiah, because Chandler obviously is going to be gone after the season anyway. But yeah, I would go with James.
Okay, I like that. I'll probably go with Kumwa. I think Tennessee needs to have a big man step up. I think that there was opportunity for, a little bit of Urosh and Brandon Hunley Hatfield to take some minutes from Fulgerson and Kumwa, and they haven't really done it to this point. And so I just think you need better play from them. If you're going to rely on those two guys to kind of lead this basketball team, I think he needs to be more consistent. I think he's been fine in some games, and some games he's been a non-factor. He was kind of a non-factor against South Carolina. Only played 10 minutes. I don't know if he was some sort of issue or just had the short leash that game. I don't know, but definitely an interesting game for him. He just needs to be more consistent for me, and I think that starts with a talented front court like Kentucky has.
Yeah. Hunley Hatfield only got 2 minutes last game, which kind of surprised me because I figured on the latter end of the South Carolina game, when you were up a decent amount, I would like to see them put him in the rotation a little bit better there. But I guess we'll just have to see how that pans out if they do that going forward.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know what is up with this.
There we go.
Am I back?
Yep.
Back.
My computer just went crazy on me. It did warn me. It was like, hey, this is about to happen. And it did. I didn't trust it. So, goes to show. Just listen. I think that was my fault, too, that you kept getting kicked off, Joe. Like, I was trying to, log back in, and I was like, nah, just do guest. And then, yeah, so.
Oh, that's probably, yeah, I was wondering because I wasn't pressing anything, and it was just shooting me out.
Yeah, I think that was my fault. So, you can blame. I'll take blame for everything. It's me. It's on me. I'm not at it. But
all good.
I'm back now.
There you go.
Guess who's back?
Are we?
I can.
ready?
I'm just like on my screen. I can see me and Joe, and it's just frozen. So if you can still see me, great. But whatever. I don't know what's wrong with it.
I see you moving around, so I think we're good.
Cool.
Yeah, I think we're good. Or anything else for Kentucky before we jump to some portal news? Transfer portal.
Kentucky sucks. I hate them.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Hard to disagree with that if you're a Tennessee fan.
Yep.
Unless you're a Vol Cat.
If you're a Vol Cat, you're not a
like
Tennessee
somebody
fan. That's a hot take, and I'll die on that hill.
Oh, no, I think it's true.
You're not a real
think that's
Tennessee
absolutely
fan if you're a Vol Cat.
Transfer portal news. Speaking of that, hit the transfer portal. Go be a full-time Kentucky fan.
There you go. Yeah, good point. Yeah, portal news. Tennessee lost some players. I don't think they're big losses, but K'Ron Calvert, offensive tackle, didn't play this past season. He'll have 1 year of eligibility left, but he has entered the transfer portal. And then Anderson Kobe, he was a JUCO signee last season. Wide receiver, he has 3 years of eligibility left, and he has also entered the transfer portal. That was actually kind of that Pruitt staff's last thing that they did. They brought in Anderson Kobe, and then, just didn't, apparently he had a great spring. We heard a lot about him. Then in the fall, you didn't see him at all. So he just seems to didn't find a role in this team, and so he wanted to hit the transfer portal. Oh, well. We got plenty of wide receivers in my book, and I think adding Isaiah Nayer probably didn't help his case at all.
Yeah. Which Isaiah Nair I'm very excited about. But yeah, that's definitely, I shouldn't say definitely. That had potential to shake some things up. Bring in a guy like that that's going to be an immediate impact.
Yep, 100%. Oh, I'm back. Sweet. Calvert, I was kind of surprised by that because you were kind of hoping he would be, fighting for that left tackle position.
Right.
And I don't know. I don't know if it had to do with, maybe just a change of scenery. Maybe it was just health. And I don't really know what it is. But, yeah, you'd probably like to keep some more tackle bodies on this roster if all possible. But
would he have been a super senior? Like, would this have been his 6th year?
Yes.
So that when I thought so, and for that reason, it doesn't surprise me a whole lot. I'm with you. I'm a little surprised, but like you said, I think the change of scenery when you're talking about a guy that would have been here for 6 years, I think that's something like it may, from his perspective, it may just kind of be time to move on and see what else is out there.
Yeah, sure. So. But yeah, like I feel like everybody who's hit the transfer portal, it hasn't really been a shock.
Right.
The Tyler Barron one was, but he came right back, so we're good. We're not counting that one. But yeah, it's kind of been nice. I don't know if we're just still shell shocked from last season where we just lost everybody. We kept hanging on to hope that we'd hang on to some of them. They all left.
Yeah. Yeah.
But some new names have kind of emerged in the transfer portal for Tennessee. And I don't know if Tennessee has reached out to some of these players. I do know that they have probably talked with O'Shawn Mathis, the defensive end from TCU. He'll have 2 years of eligibility left. He had 45 tackles, 4 sacks last season. 2020, he had 46 tackles and 9 sacks. So just trying to add to that defensive line a little bit. He's been linked to Texas because that's where Gary Patterson's at, and that was his former coach at TCU.
But, I didn't know Gary Patterson was at – what's he doing at Texas?
I don't know what his official title is.
Because he was retiring, right?
Right. But, yeah, now he's at Texas. He left Texas Christian to go be at Texas. I mean, I don't want to question his faith, but
well, he was invited to leave Texas Christian, I believe. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I just thought he was retired.
He just had to walk out.
Yeah, I thought it was just a retirement kind of deal. I didn't realize he was still doing stuff. So, sounds like what we need for David Cutcliffe, though. Sounds like that kind of deal.
What is he? Oh, I guess it hasn't been officially announced.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to see who it actually is.
Like what his position's going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pulling up some
last week
Texas thing right now.
Major defensive role.
Gotcha.
That's all it says.
Nice. Interesting.
Yeah. So, and O'Shawn Mathis is a defensive player, so maybe that is. I don't know. We'll see about that one. Noah Kane, running back from Penn State, did visit the last week before National Signing Day in 2019 with Darnell Wright, Wanya Morris, a bunch of those guys that Eric Gray, a bunch of those guys that aren't here anymore. Yeah. It's funny because I know there's quite a bit, but there's a lot of players from that gym are no longer on this roster. I'd love to sit down and just count all of them because
I would not like to. Can we avoid that?
That's probably true. Yeah, but I'd like to know, but it would make me sad.
It would make me very sad. So I think I just know how sad it would make me. So I think I'm good not knowing.
Yeah, but Noah Cain had around a little over 300 yards rushing this past season at Penn State. So it wasn't a huge factor. He did have 100 carries, but only averaged 3 yards per carry, so not great. But I think he is a bigger back that Tennessee would like to add. That's another thing for me is like Tennessee's got to be better short yardage wise next season. There's too many 3rd and 1s, 4th and 1s where we just didn't. I don't know if his lack of push up front, but I think when you have a lack of push, it's always good to have a bruiser with the football that can, just fall forward pretty much.
Right.
And I think Noah Cain could do that. So we'll see if that turns into anything. Austin Jones, a running back from Stanford, is another big running back that just entered the transfer portal. I think it was yesterday.
And how many of these guys you're naming have been linked, or are you just kind of hoping by putting a couple pieces together that maybe it could happen?
Yeah, I think Oshwan Mathis is probably the only one that's probably been linked to Tennessee.
Gotcha. Okay.
Others maybe from social media and stuff that you can make a connection with. I know Tim Banks was at Penn State. He was a defensive guy that probably has nothing. Oh, so Cain is going to LSU. That's already been announced. Was that
Shout out Joe
now?
I don't know. Shout out Joe. Bringing that breaking news. We'll pretend it was just now. It was probably tonight at least, if not just now.
Dang it. I got to see when this was. Then you got Austin Jones, running back, Stanford. Amir Speed, the cornerback from Georgia. LSU had a former 4-star, a 6'2" cornerback going to the transfer portal, Dwight McLaughlin. I think that's right. Latrell McCutcheon, I think he had an offer from Tennessee out of high school. I think he might have visited. He was a cornerback from Oklahoma. He was part of that Friday Night Tyke show also. Those are just like I'm looking at DBs, linebackers, big running backs, offensive tackles. I mean, those are just some names that have recently been in the transfer portal. I don't know if Tennessee has swung at some of these kids, but if I were on staff at Tennessee, I would at least give them a phone call.
Right.
And there has been some linebackers from Alabama. I think there was 3 of them that hit the portal. Again, I just don't like what we have in the secondary or at linebackers. So anybody that, has some college experience, has some production, I'm at least evaluating.
Yeah, no, 100% agreed.
100%. I don't think you can be too selective with what we saw in that Purdue game. That's my.
I'd go as
I don't know if they are.
Season,
I'm just saying that, like, I'm getting a little nervous.
I'm with you. Watching this whole entire season unfold and then the Purdue game, I'm okay with saying go out and get as many guys. Don't be too selective. Yep. Go get them. Find out if they can play.
Right now, with what you have coming back in the secondary, I think Tennessee has probably one of the worst, if not the worst, secondary in the SEC.
Right.
Not named Vanderbilt.
Not good territory to be in there, unfortunately. So,
but hey, we'll see. I got faith, but
I like it.
I need some results.
Yes, please. Pretty please. Oh, well. Anything else for Portal? Talk the last little bit of college football.
Yeah, the Natty.
All right, well, hand up. I was completely wrong. 100% wrong. I could not have been more wrong about that game. The over almost hit. If it goes into overtime, the over hits. So I just want to make that known right now. I hate to even kind of sound like I was rooting for Bama, but at the end, I was really hoping it'd go to overtime. I needed it to go to overtime.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird spot. Like, you don't want either team to win.
No.
But I think and this is just my opinion, I think it's better for Tennessee if Alabama goes ahead and wins another national championship. I think Georgia only gets better from here. Offensively.
I don't think the landscape of where Georgia's at in college football changes much if they lose that game. Other than maybe people are giving Kirby a hard time about not being able to win the big one. Like, that's the only thing. But that was already happening. So I think things would have just stayed. I think they would have continued the path they're on. I think Georgia offensively, I think the only thing they can really do is get a better quarterback. And that was just kind of on the horizon. Like, that was bound to happen.
Well, I think, better quarterback, but I also think you got to open up that offense. George Pickens is one of the best wide receivers in college football, but you can't get him the ball.
Yeah, but it's much easier.
Don't get him the ball.
It's much easier to do if you have a better quarterback. And then you have just a stable of running backs back there. So, like, they pretty much won a national championship doing that. When people said that was long gone, like that day of football was long gone, it wins a national championship this year. So, like I said, when you have the team to do it, you can do it. Nick Saban could do it if he wanted to.
That's true, but how many defenses have we seen to this caliber?
No, I know. I know it's like – I know it's
like if that defense isn't the best defense that we've probably ever seen, I don't think they win that game.
Oh, no, I don't disagree.
If Jamison Williams and John Mechie play in that game, I think it's a totally different game.
I agree. I don't disagree with that. I mean, if Alabama's wide receivers that are in the game just catch the ball, it's a different game. But, I mean, I just think it, like – I just don't think the days of defensive football are completely long gone. And, I mean, you need a good – the days of having a mediocre offense and being that successful are long gone. Like, mediocre offenses will no longer win national championships. It takes a Stetson Bennett on a really good night to still win.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't.
And before, that drive where he drove the field and threw that dime to A.D. Mitchell, where I know we're about to talk about that in Tennessee, but did you hear about that?
No, what happened? Oh,
so apparently,
yeah, I did. So that was true.
Apparently, it was true that A.D. Mitchell wanted to commit to Tennessee, and Jeremy Pruitt would not accept it because he had diabetes.
How is that true? Like, how is that real?
Because it's Tennessee. It's the only way. It will never happen anywhere else in the country, but it happened in Tennessee.
Here's why, like, part of me doesn't know if it's true, but this could make it more true. Like, it could go either way, I think. Are we 100% sure that Jeremy Pruitt knows what diabetes is?
No, I think that's part of it. Like, he thought it was some sort of disease that would make him not great at football.
See, I feel like the guy that I've heard talk on TV back, they'd be like, Coach, you need to know that, he's diabetic. Like, you probably just disclose that. And you're like, or maybe it comes up in conversation. And I feel like he's like, so you can run, can't you? Like, I feel like it. I don't know. It's so, like, that's why I'm like, but I'm with you. Like, I'm with you. I think that could swing the gate either way. Yeah. And he didn't hear of diabetes until this conversation.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh my God.
I know it came from like some.
All you can do is laugh.
I know.
It's the most Tennessee thing ever. Even if it's not true, it's kind of a funny. Tennessee's expense, it's kind of a funny story.
I want to know if it becomes like an ESPN. Like, is it going to be brought up against Georgia next year now that the story's out there, or does ESPN dodge that one?
I don't know. Barstool did a story on it, so how are they just going to – I feel like they try to do everything that Barstool doesn't, so –
yeah, I feel like that makes it immediately out. I would like to – I don't know how that's ever proven. Jeremy Pruitt wouldn't admit that. I don't know. That's crazy. That pisses me off. But just because it's so absurdly stupid.
Yeah. But let's not act like Adonai Mitchell is like the next best. Like he had 300 something yards before that championship game.
No. I mean, it could have been anybody. It could have been nobody, like a nobody on Georgia's roster.
Yeah.
The story blows my mind. Like, it blows my mind.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Blows my mind. This is not a committable offer because you have diabetes. Sorry. Like, what?
Well, I mean, he got fired again, so
He got fired? Oh yeah, I guess he's out with Judge.
especially now, like you can't keep somebody watching the Giants play. They probably got a couple guys that got diabetes.
God bless. Oh, Lordy. I'll stray away from that. I do too want to mention about the Alabama game. I love the people that are like, listen, I say this. I feel like I should say your tweet I'm talking about, that I am happy not only that Alabama didn't win, but Henry To'oTo'o didn't win. Yeah. I'm very glad about that. And nothing in this next statement is going to change that. I don't wish ill will on him. I hope he's very successful for himself and does whatever, good for him in life. But this is college football. And college football, rivalries are important. It's why people like talk about the not expanding the playoffs. They're like, do you really want these, rivalry games to mean less? First off, they wouldn't. Second off, rivalries are what make college football special. I hate Alabama with every fiber of my being. A Tennessee player that transferred there, I wish he hadn't won a single game at Alabama.
100%.
So sorry. I don't wish ill will on him, but I'm glad he didn't win. It just feels right.
Yeah, I hate it for him. I mean,
hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I had an On3 sports guy he covers Alabama, so I could there was definitely bias toward what he was saying, but he was like, something about Henry To'oTo'o accomplished everything he wanted because he wanted to compete for a national championship. I was like, the only reason why you go to Alabama is to win a national championship. It's not like he wants to live in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
Like, the city's just so great. Yeah, you go to Alabama to win a national championship. He went from Alabama's probably biggest rival, at least it used to be. Maybe
the biggest rivalry. Like, an Alabama fan would be pissed if a really good player went to Tennessee.
Yeah, 100%. And so, like, I explained, like, he chose to go to Alabama while he was at Tennessee. He reaped all the benefits of being, a great player, a leader on this team. The fans loved him. I have a freaking jersey of the guy in my closet still. And then he transfers to Alabama. You just don't do that. His argument was just like, oh, it must suck having Brandon Turnage on your team. I'm like, Brandon Turnage had one pass deflection in his Alabama career and then transferred to Tennessee because he wasn't playing.
And it just showed that you are salty about that, obviously, enough to bring it up.
Right. But, like, he didn't see – like, he thought they were the same thing, and that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Henry To'oTo'o was probably Tennessee's best player.
Listen, I'll stand on this, too. It's a rivalry. I'm not asked to make rational decisions because I don't legitimately hate Henry To'oTo'o. So I'm just glad he didn't win. That's part of sports. People cheer against you.
It's also a joke.
I would be extremely happy if a player like Bryce Young transferred to Tennessee. And I would laugh at Alabama fans. I know it won't happen. I'm just giving you an example of a really great player that's beloved by Alabama fans. I would laugh. And you all go, well, you hated it when To'oTo'o did it? Yeah, because I was on the losing end of it. Exactly. Of course. Like, Jesus, people. Like, be logical. Like, people are like, oh, you're salty. Of course I'm salty. I sent a tweet about it. Like, geez. Quit. Like, people try to be so rational about things. It's not a rational thought. It's I cheer for the team that hates the team he plays for. He formerly played for our team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't give a crap. Like, I don't want him to be unsuccessful in his athletic career. Beyond, I wish he hadn't beaten Tennessee. I'm glad him and his players and Nick Saban didn't win another national championship. That is part of sports. Grow up, people. Like,
I had a lot of Alabama fans say, well, at least he got to smoke that cigar. I'm like, cool.
No, cool. I'm very jealous. Jealous. But let me ask Henry To'oTo'o this.
I didn't get that cigar.
I didn't get to smoke my first cigar by switching sides. That's not how I'm going to get mine.
You did the butt in first?
No, I'm not switching sides. I'm keeping it normal.
Henry To'oTo'o did the butt in first.
Yeah, sure. I guess if I wanted to smoke a cigar, I could just become an Alabama fan. It's easy. It takes nothing. I go out and buy a $2.99 Crimson Tide shirt at the Walmart. It's not hard to be an Alabama fan. You guys win tomorrow. You're going to win next year. Like, it's not hard to smoke that cigar if I really want to. And y'all are going to, if I win, Alabama fans be all up in arms. You switch sides. So did Henry To'oTo'o. So shut up. Jesus. He switched sides. It's that simple. He's a traitor.
To win a national championship.
Traitor.
It wasn't like he wasn't playing. He ran to Alabama to win a national championship, and he did not. It's funny, okay? It's funny. But yeah, like you said, it's hard to speak logic to Alabama fans because they have none.
Yeah, I'm very upset.
Zach Calzada, Stetson Bennett. That's all I got to say. Zach Calzada, he went to Auburn. He's gonna beat Brian Harsin. Literally took a quarterback that's not very good, but he beat Alabama, so he's hoping that he can do the same thing and give Brian Harsin a couple years at Auburn.
Right.
That was his thought process. I don't know that for sure, but it seems like it.
I don't even want. I think I had some more thoughts on the national championship. I can't even remember, but it's fun to talk about the Henry To'oTo'o. Honestly, it's fun. I won't lie. It's fun to be mad about that stuff. It's why it's why I'm a college football fan.
Yeah, as soon as he got knocked into the end zone and fell on his back, I laughed.
Oh yeah. It was great.
Brock Bowers ran right by him for that game-winning touchdown. I laughed.
Oh. These holier-than-thou Alabama fans, you would laugh too. A-holes. All of you all. Oh. Well, all right.
Alabama's got beat by JG. How about that?
And Jeremy Pruitt.
Jeremy Pruitt, yeah.
What that like?
You don't even know what diabetes is.
Couple of reasons I would like to go back and win that Alabama game. I would get to smoke my first cigar. And then also, like the Jeremy Pruitt being the first assistant coach to beat Nick Saban would have been all time just poet. Like it would have been a storybook telling. Like it would have been awesome. Like Jimbo makes sense. I know we can hate on him, but like he's been successful.
I'm kind of glad it wasn't Kirby. I'm glad this game didn't break that.
Oh, I'm very glad. That would have not been fun to hear. Also, and people who are like, don't cheer for, people are like, oh, this is good for the SEC, for Alabama and Georgia to be in the title. I would have loved for it to be Cincinnati, Michigan. I would have loved for it to be literally anyone else in the country. I would have watched Jim McElwain hump a shark rather than those two teams win. Or those two teams play for a national championship.
That was hot.
Or sorry, they investigated it. What was the dude's name?
I don't know. It was Caleb Presley, right?
Yeah. And that dude puts off, like, I know some people are like, conspiracy theory, they found this guy to blame on to get Jim McElwain out of it. That dude, like, had shark humping energy. Like, right off the bat, did you watch the video?
No, but he definitely got paid. It was definitely Jim McElwain.
No. They like, he talks on it. That dude has shark humping energy.
But did he get paid off to admit this?
I don't know. No, he seems proud.
Did he get paid off to be? I just want it to be Jim McElwain. Okay,
I understand that. That's fine. But I will say this: the two Jims, like Jim McElwain, I don't know if he puts off shark hump energy. He puts off like he puts off like get humped by shark energy. That's what he gives me. Those kind of vibes. The other two Jims, big shark humping energy. Like both of them. If I was the arresting officer, they would have they convinced me right just talking to them. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, he got arrested for that?
No.
I feel like you could get arrested for that.
I feel like that's got to be
illegal.
something. Yeah, I feel like that's got to be something.
Yeah. Like, that's bestiality, right? You can't just hump a shark.
I don't know when, like, I don't know what the line is for bestiality, but I got to think like a man's wiener on a shark is pretty dang close to that line. Like it's got to be close. Picks in the graphic, Joe. I'm not against it. I'm not here to shame anyone, so I'm not against it. Not suitable for work warning for those that are in the chat in the live here. Joe's gonna give us picks. Can you pull those up? I'm not in the role here. There we go. Joe, this may be, I don't know, because I don't know the dude's name. Do you have a picture? So that's the accused Jim McElwain. Also, not good tan lines. That does look like a football coach tan.
Dude, that guy has a hippopotamus ass.
I don't remember how big Jim McElwain was at Florida. He doesn't look that big now. So that's another thing he's got going for him. He's not that fat. I don't know if he was at Florida.
At Central Michigan.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's nothing going on up there. Did you hear the story that Brian Kelly made some I don't even know if he's a GA. I think he was like in a defensive analyst type role. He made they were just out of college, like guys park car. Like he invited him to a party when he was the head coach at Central Michigan and made him park cars.
I heard that. Yeah.
I love that.
Dude, Brian Kelly
I think
is the biggest ass. Like, I hope we beat the crap out of him next year. I cannot wait.
I wouldn't hate it. I
mean, he is the weirdest. Just like him, from this whole LSU thing. If you had just known him from that, you're like, okay, this dude is a freaking moron. But he's not only just a moron; he's also the biggest asshole in the world.
Yeah, factual statement.
Let's hang 50 burger on him.
50 on him. Do we have any questions?
Oh, speaking of Jeremy Pruitt, did you see the graphic of all the offensive numbers?
Yeah. Which, I mean, you know my feelings on it.
Yeah.
It's better now. If it hadn't happened right after the game,
no,
I wouldn't be upset.
I got you.
Yeah. It's right now I would have been fine with it, but I already have the sour taste in my mouth, I'll be honest. So, but no, it's the offensive numbers under Pruitt were not good.
Also, Chase McGrath coming back. I think that's big. That's probably not talked about enough. Yeah, him coming back, getting your place kicker back. I think he set a school record for 66 PATs last season.
That makes sense. Yeah. We didn't go for too often.
No. Maybe we should.
Go Matt Lanth on him?
Yeah. Or that guy from he was in Arkansas, Pulaski Academy, where he always went for two and
now
always
he's at,
on kick.
I don't think he's a coach anymore, but he was at Presbyterian.
Oh, nice.
I think he's already left there. Don't quote me on that. Do you have what's trending?
I do. What's trending? I have Jonathan Kongbo signed a future contract with the Denver Broncos. So that'll take place next year. He'll be added to the, 90-man roster. Yeah, good for him. Spent a lot of time in the CFL. I think won a couple of championships in that. Yeah,
I know he
shot in the NFL.
I think he won this past year, right?
Yeah, I think he's won before that too.
Gotcha. Sweet. Good for him. Let's see. Sorry, my first one. I was trying to find it. Did you see the pictures of the guys that looked like Nate and Rupert from Ted Lasso arguing with the ref? It's pretty hilarious. The pictures of a guy, soccer coach that looked like Nate and Rupert arguing with the ref. So, well, I mean, if you're not a soccer fan, this is why I hate reviews in sports, though. It's so stupid. But apparently they ended the game early. The ref just ended the game early. Like 89th minute, just ended it. Didn't get to full time. Apparently tried to blow it 5 minutes before that. And there was a red card that should have gotten like overruled in VAR. And he was just like, no, I'm keeping the card. Like, what? I hate reviewing sports. I hate everything. Like, it pisses me off. Very much. Review stupid.
Yeah, screw review. Also, Brew McCoy, former 5-star. I think he was at Texas. Then he went to USC. Now he's in the transfer portal. And that could be a name.
Okay. I like it. I like more names.
Brew McCoy.
Bonnaroo lineup was announced. I don't go to Bonnaroo, but I feel like a lot of people tweet about it when they announced the lineup.
It sucked.
The lineup?
Yeah.
I just glanced at it. It looked pretty good to me, but I didn't go through it. I just saw some bands on there that I like.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I don't really listen to that kind of music, so.
It's all kind of music at Bonnaroo, though.
Well, like, I know, like, the big names, but I wouldn't know, like, the smaller bands.
Yeah. I'm with you. My last one, Netflix has announced a PGA Tour documentary. So they're going to follow like F1. They're going to follow PGA Tour players around. I think they had a list, but I didn't see it. But I think it's a lot of like big names. I know Ricky Fowler initially like threw his name in the hat. It's like a lot of big names. It's going to be like I said, the F1 style. Netflix has done really good with a lot of those sport documentaries. I love obviously Last Chance U, QB1, F1. I'm still watching. I haven't committed to it hard, but yeah, it's they've done good. So I'm excited to see behind the scenes PGA. I'm curious what it'll be like because it's F1's fun because you get a lot of rivalries. I'm curious to see kind of how that comes out in the documentary if it comes out about some of like the people that maybe don't like each other.
Yeah,
all that much.
Yeah, I love those documentaries. So adding on to the Brew McCoy thing, I mentioned he's from USC. I mean, Tennessee had Velus Jones, Chase McGrath, Caleb Tremblay transfer from USC. So, I don't know if they know him or even close to him, but that is something you can sell. Like, hey, we have 3 guys that transferred here and did just fine. So,
yeah.
And Velus was a wide receiver that had a really good season under Josh Heupel. So, yeah, I think that could be I know we just took Isaiah Nayer, but hey, we're here to put the best 11 on the field.
I'm with it. I like it.
My next one is the Portland Pickles. The new phone Who Dis. Did you see this?
No, but what are the Portland Pickles?
They are a minor league baseball team.
Okay. All right.
And there's a picture of the mascot and
that one. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Showing his pickle off.
What was the caption?
New phone Who Dis. So I guess he acted like he didn't know how to work it.
That's very strange. All right.
Yeah, I mean, hey, way to get some publicity out there. I like it.
Are they a new team or?
I don't know. They did. I mean, it was definitely planned, but they also tagged Manscaped in the picture.
I mean, they went full on. Like they were not holding back at all. Credit. I like it. Aggressive, but I like it.
Joe, you got any? Any what's trending?
One, I got the picture of the dude that was on the shark, which if you were to reference
yeah, that guy. Tell me he didn't give you shark humping energy.
Yeah.
Wait. So Oh, so Barstool brought him to this.
Brought him to meet
Yeah.
Jim McElwain. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I think all the gyms were there. I think all the gyms were at Central Michigan.
Yeah, Jimmy John
Who's
Jim
Jim?
was there too.
Jimmy John. That was the guy that was also accused publicly of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, and he also people are still saying that it was a cover up because he kind of pulled the OJ. Like, I didn't do it, but if I were to do it, because he was saying like too in depth. He was like, you can't have sex with a shark because I'd have to be on the bottom and it's too rough anyway. And so people are like, how would you know that unless you've tried it?
that was Jimmy John, right? That said that.
People were like, you went way too far in the other direction. Like, now you should know that
say
much.
it wasn't you. You didn't have to.
I would never have sex with a shark. Do you know
It's
what
too
those
rough.
fins will do to you? I mean, come on.
It's too rough.
So we may not have caught him.
You're just not kinky enough, is what you're admitting.
We don't have the photo of him humping a shark, but he's definitely humped a shark.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Maybe Jimmy John did pay that guy.
That there's definitely something deep. I don't know. Great video though. Great investigative. My what's trending. I'm assuming you guys saw the Drake thing.
Drake.
I don't think I did.
So Drake, obviously he's lover boy. So he had. This is after dark. I mean, it's 9:30, so whatever. He has a lady over. They do their thing. He goes and gets rid of his condom in the trash, whatever. Apparently, this lady tries to go receive it and, impregnate herself, whatever. Dirty, scheming things. He put hot sauce in it to, kill it all. And she had a huge problem. It was like a whole deal, but that is the greatest. Is that not awesome? Like, and she's running out of the bathroom screaming in pain and has to go to the hospital and stuff, but props to Drake for thinking like 5 steps ahead.
Yeah, how many times has that happened to him that he knows?
It has to have happened a lot,
right?
He's just got his little hot sauce bottle on him.
I mean,
I think if I were him, I think at this point we're just
or whatever you call it, red something.
I think I just have my tubes tied at this point. If I were tubes tied, that's not the right word. My snipped. If I was Drake at this point, that's because it sounds like. I mean, I'm gonna go. It's happened to him double digits to the point where they're like, "Hey, you need to always have like hot sauce around to."
He's got like
drown this immediately.
Tobacco.
Like how he's done that before. Like
he's got that
wasn't the
keychain
first
of
time.
tobacco. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's trained. Very
good
trained.
for Drake. Power move.
Yeah.
He's like,
that's all I've got for what's trending.
You got stupidity.
I do. Let me go first.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I've got a Big Game Boomer on Twitter. A lot of all fans were very happy with Big Game Boomer, but very bold predictions for a lot of reasons. I won't read through them all. Some of them are boring and kind of just easy. He did say Tennessee. He said Hypo shocks the world. Vols win SEC East, beat Bam at home. That's his 2022 way too early prediction. Little out there.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's way out there. Braylon Allen wins Heisman Trophy after record-setting season for Wisconsin. You lost me. You had me reeled in. I'm a Tennessee guy. Bleed it. You had me in there. No quarterback at Wisconsin is going to win a Heisman Trophy. Sorry. Out.
No.
Is that that is the quarterback?
I guess. I mean, I guess he's a starting. Is he the starting quarterback now? I don't think he was this year though.
Could he have been the running back?
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's what it was. I thought they had. Don't they have a quarterback coming in though? Maybe that's what it was.
That's still a hot take.
He is the running back. I would say it's a hot take. Yeah.
Oh yes, still is.
That's stupidity on me though. I thought Braylon Allen was the quarterback.
My next one is, or my first one, I guess, is.
Dang, I just got stupidity on.
Is this Saturday now?
We hate when that happens.
Oh man, who was this? Oh, well, I got one more and then I'll come back to it. Our boy Wes Rucker. Quote, "Hey ladies, the doc told me I'm 99th percentile in length. I think we all know what she meant." End quote. I'm not going to tell you any backstory to that. That's just what he said on Twitter.
Well, I think the biggest point of this is his child's in the photo. I feel like he's trying to direct attention to his child's crotch. It feels a little creepy to me.
I agree. Yeah, not great.
Very
That's kind of weird.
Very weird. Also, he does his son, I assume, the way the tweet's worded, he does look like a long child. Like it looks like the lens messed up. He looks like he like stretched him. I'll give him that.
His child is
the
linked,
child, the actual
his,
child.
Not the,
his child looks like it was stretched in photos.
Yeah, not what Wes Rucker
not
was
what
referring
he's
to.
alluding. Yeah, not what he's trying to make a funny about, which is totally inappropriate for a child, Wes, an infant.
Yeah,
irresponsible, unexcusable.
Call DHS.
I feel bad that someone out there like may be crazy enough to do it. There are crazy people in this world.
Mine was just going to be the Donnie Mitchell diabetes gate with Jeremy Pruitt, but we covered that. So.
Oh, God, what an idiot.
So I think this was Saturday down south. Got. So Richard G. West tweeted today, breaking news, Missouri, or I think this might have been yesterday. Breaking news, Missouri has let go of basketball head coach Conzo Martin. This comes after a 7-8 current seasons and 73-64 overall record at Mizzou. Cornell Mann will serve as interim coach for the remainder of the season, and SEC Country posted it in their article and says Mizzou fires head coach Conzo Martin.
Dude, Bleacher Report put out a full notification news report. I went.
Oh, was this Bleacher Report?
I wonder if
it might have. I just know I saw Bleacher Report fell for it too. They got the full the natural on the.
Oh website. Yeah, it was Bleacher Report. It was not Saturday down south. It was Bleacher Report.
But
makes me kind of wonder if Missouri fans are racist. I think the question's got to be asked. They want him gone? I mean, I think it's a fair question.
That account's done it before, though. I remember at the right before the Ole Miss game, which I guess it was only students that cared because but there was this rumor that Morgan Wallen was doing a performance for halftime show. And first off, I mean, obviously I was like, they're not wheeling out a stage like the Super Bowl and doing a halftime show, but everybody, all over campus, all I'm hearing is Morgan Wallen's coming, he's performing. And I was like, this guy has 800 Twitter followers. Fake picture. Stop.
Yeah, he might be performing in a girl's dorm room tonight.
Yeah. I can promise you.
Also, Stetson Bennett was definitely hammered on Good Morning America.
What was he chugging a bottle?
He was on a different level.
He was chugging a bottle of something expensive, I think.
I mean, he said, 8,000 times.
He also posted a picture at the bar, and it was funny too because I think right when was it Good Morning America or whatever it was started, the timestamp was 7 hours ago, and he was at the bar and he's got an interview tomorrow morning, gonna be rough. And it was 2 a.m. and he's just starting drinking.
Hey, good for him, legend.
Yeah, there's a video of him chugging a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle, which is an insanely expensive liquor.
That's just a poor timing on Good Morning America's part.
Why is the national championship quarterback interviewing the next morning?
Yeah,
come on.
I mean, Joe Burrow did it. He was awful on the next morning too. But at least when he went on, he did a barstool and they were fine with it though. But he was plastered. He was sitting. He was still drunk in the back of the seat.
Still very drunk. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't see him on Good Morning America, but yeah, I'd imagine it was bad. Very dumb. Very dumb. All right.
That's all I got.
That's it for me. Stupidity's on me tonight. I hate this. I hate it.
Don't harp on it.
I won't, because I'll still stand by my take. You won't.
Hey, you did.
The Wisconsin players,
what
I should have said. I did. It's actually getting warm. My feet are still freezing, but head's warm, so we're good.
You're no longer sick, are you?
No, I'm not sick. I was just outside right before we started.
Okay.
And I'm wearing tennis shoes. So
gotcha.
Thin tennis shoes.
All right, guys. Well, go Vols on Saturday in Rupp Arena. We'll cover that on Sunday. Hopefully we'll have more news regarding the portal and everything else. College baseball is 36 days away from opening days. So, yeah, going to be exciting. That's all we got. We're bringing the boat in. We out.